guys, welcome back to my channel, and if you're new, welcome. I'm so happy you found us. Sorry I missed the video getting it up yesterday. It was just crazy, but we have an exciting one for today. We are altering the very useful, the very multi-purpose index card, and I'm going to show you a few ways to decorate it really cute, really fun, and how you can use it maybe in ways that you haven't been. So let's get started. So first, I thought it would just be fun to show you a fun way, give you another idea of how to decorate an index card. And I'm going to be using some Scrapbook fabric scraps that I just have. And I'm going to be using some of this paper that came out of a Daphne Diaries magazine and some flowers that did as well. And if you haven't seen if you have not seen a Daphne's Diary magazine before, comment below and I can do a quick flip through of one with no sound, no talking, just kind of show you what they are. And it'll be like a YouTube short. So let me know if you want to see a flip through. So I've cut out a couple of flowers and I just cut out a couple of the little fox guys on the paper. And I'm just going to take my journaling card, and I've started. And what I'm going to do is give it, you know, our typical background. So I'm going to go ahead and finish doing this real quick. It won't take long at all. Okay, so there's the background I always do if I'm going to do a vintage type, you know, card. So what I'm going to do now, because I want to put my little flowers and my little foxes on there. So I want to add these, but I want them to kind of, they look good on there, but I kind of want them to stand out a little bit, and I want to add some more texture. So I think I'm going to add a little bit of this cheesecloth, a little bit of the cotton fabric, and maybe a little bit of lace on top. Yeah. So I think I'll do that. I have a piece of lace. Kind of layer all that up. And then I'm going to put my foxes like that. And then I think I'm going to put my flowers. Oh, let me see how I'm going to do this. It's always hard to tell with this cheesecloth and stuff when you're working with a big piece. And I always just cut little bitty pieces. So this stuff lasts forever. Okay, maybe put the white lace because I'm going to add a little brightness with the white lace on there. Or maybe I'll add some, no, I need some brightness. So maybe instead of the cheesecloth, I'll do the cotton fabric. It is a little lighter than the cheesecloth. Might be a little brighter. Okay. Yeah, I like that better. I think it lightens. It's a little brighter. It shows a little more. It's two different textures. Then I'm going to come back with my foxes and kind of put right beside it. Maybe I'll add a pop of color instead. And do this right there. And then put some washi tape. Maybe, you know what? I'll just add some washi tape. That might just look better. Just remember you might have to, you know, glue your washi tape down depending on if it's how well it's sticking. I find with most washi tapes you have to, but that's okay. Yeah, that's better. It's showing up way better than this lace is white, so it's going to show up against the coffee stained old age papers there. Okay. I'm going to put it beside the washi tape, overlapping it a bit because, okay. And then I'm going to come back with my foxes, but I want to add in my flowers as well. Okay. That's going to be the look. So what I'm going to do is move that out of the way. I've got to move this one fox down a bit. So I kind of have to cut and then glue him back on because he was a little long and didn't reach right. So I'm just going to glue this. This is out of that Daphne's Diary magazine. The paper, the foxes and the flowers. Okay, I'm just going to glue him down just enough to where he fits on the index card without hanging way over the edge. And it's meant to look old, so if there's a crease, that's cool. And then I'm going to come over here and I'm going to ink up my flowers because they have, I didn't cut them all the way to the flower, as you can see, so there is some white around the edges. Let me get my, there we go. Then I'm going to put that in the corner right there, and then this one, do the same thing. You know what, I'm just going to have to trim this one. It's got a little, probably still ink it, but I'm going to get the majority out because it's got such deep edges here that I wouldn't be able to get that stupid ink pad in to get them out. And then I'm going to put that one like right there. Yep, like it totally. So there we have index card number 1 as a journaling card. It's decorated simply, easy to do, and it looks amazing. And it's got, I used Daphne's Diary magazine elements. So there's one, and that one was easy, straightforward. The next one is going to be a little more in depth, a little more, you know, a little something different. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to take one, this one's going to require 2 index cards, and I'm going to make a slide or like a vintage Polaroid. Okay, and I'm going to use this picture of my flamingo, and I'm going to cut out, I'm going to leave the inside, but I need to cut it out. So what I'm going to do is kind of measure with a pencil, kind of mark where I want it. So I kind of want it like, okay. And then I'm going to fold my index card in half and I'm going to make a cut. Okay, and then I'm going to come around here and I'm going to cut maybe not quite as high as I marked. And I'm just cutting the center portion out, leaving part of the index card on the bottom and the top and the 2 sides. And you can do this however, you know, you're more comfortable doing it. This way was easiest for me. Okay, so I cut out basically a window. I'm going to attach my flamingo inside my window like that. And you can use double-sided tape. You can use glue, whatever you have. I'm going to trim the top down just a little bit because it has to fit. And then I'm going to get my double-sided tape. And we're going to use a thinner one, if I can find it. Let's see here. I have this super thin double-sided tape. I'm going to use it for the top and bottom part. Put it on my flamingo itself. Okay. Then I'm just going to peel the double-sided stuff off. Okay, I'm going to lay it on my... You can also use regular tape if you don't have double-sided tape. It's fine. And there you go. Now I'm just going to tape my sides down with regular tape. just to show you that it doesn't matter. It's not going to show because the inside of this is going to be sealed with another index card, and I'm going to seal it with the salt. If you have writing on both sides, that's great. If you want to do the writing out, that's you. I'm going to do the plain side out, and then I'm going to seal it together like that. You can stitch it closed. That'll add some interest. You can leave it like this. You can stamp it. You can ink it. You can do a zillion and one things. But this is another way to use a index card to make a specimen or a Kodak photo type picture, instant picture. Okay, now our last one we're going to do today is another one where we're going to use a really cute picture, but I wanted to show you some of the images. You know, you can use magazine images, you can use, you know, music paper for your main thing, more magazines. You can use, this is magazine, you can use scrapbook papers, book pages. You can use the inside of security envelopes. I mean, look how interesting, a lot of movement, which gives it texture, a bright color, so that would be amazing. So there's a lot of different things out there you can use. You could use cardboard with the ridges. It gives it interest and texture as well. Of course, your bits and bobs of fabrics. So there's, you know, anything goes when you're using index cards. And if you wanted to make this kind of shiny, you could go back and put some packaging over it so it had like a shinier look to it if you wanted to. You could also put some of that clear stuff that you put on like jewelry and stuff to fill it in. You could put that in here. So it's whatever you want to do. Make it your own. Okay, so our next one is going to be actually a index card page pocket, which means it's going to be an actual page in the journal and it's going to be a pocket. So what I'm going to do first is it requires 2 index cards. With the first one, I'm going to take all my bits of fabric scraps again here, and I'm going to make just like a stained glass pattern on one side. Like that. And I'm only doing it on half because I have this great picture from some, you can buy them, you know, on Amazon. You can buy them on Etsy and print them. But they're just like journaling cards. And this was a gift from Amazon. Not from Amazon. It was a gift off of Amazon. And I'm using this one. I just love the colors. It's got the pinks, the yellows, and the greens. I love the subject matter. It's bright, summery. So anyway, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to use my fabric pieces. And you can sew them. You can glue them. You can do whatever you want. It doesn't matter because remember, we're going to use a second card. So you're not going to see the back. But you don't want to see much card through there. You can see a little bit, but not a lot. And then this card is going to go like this. However, we're going to bring it over a little bit like that. Then on this end, I'm going to use a piece of paper and some lace. And I'm giving it different colors, different textures. I want it to have movement. Okay. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put the lace in the page and it's going to look something, oops, let's get this out of the way. And it's going to look something like that. Whoop. And it's going to look something like that. So I'm going to go sew all my little pieces on, my fabric pieces. So I will be right back. Okay, so we're back. I've got it all sewn on. And now I'm going to put my picture on that I love, that I want on this. I'm using some, see, anything you cut out of a magazine works. This was just a side of a page, and I love the yellow. And look, I have a use for it now. I'm going to put it on there with some lace to soften this side. Cut down on the shiny a little bit. And there is our card, but this is going to be a page pocket, so we're not anywhere near done. Okay, So I love how this has turned out. But this is a page pocket. So it has to have a way to connect in our journal, and we can't write on the back with all of that. Plus it's a pocket. There's no pocket yet. So what I'm going to do is take my second index card, attach it around the edges except for the top, so that'll be my pocket. And when I attach this side, I'm going to put a little scrap piece of fabric. Another great use for our scrap fabric, guys, is if you want to make attachments for pages. They work really good. And I'm just going to sew that in right there, so when I do my center hole for my junk journal, this, or my art journal, this will go in, and then I will have a really cute pocket. So what I'm going to do is, for the edges, I'm going to go sew, and I'll be right back. Now, if you don't have a sewing machine, double-sided tape or glue works just as well. It's just sewing is faster. Okay, guys, so I stitched it around. I got to cut all my strings off real quick. Okay, so there's the front, there's the back. It's a page, so you will be able to write on this. And it's going to fit right here. You will attach it with the fabric flap on the end, so you could write, but it's a pocket. We've made us a pocket. And what I'm going to do is just make a little indentation back here, just to make sure if you put anything in, you can get it out pretty easy. But anyway, I'll cut just a little, half moon out of the back. But there we go. Isn't that pretty? It's going to look really pretty in the journal. But don't forget, you could add words. I could add, okay, heart, Paris, daffodils. Whatever goes with my picture, you can add words. You could stamp a word here if you wanted to. Totally up to you. These are meant for you to take them and make them your own. Now, one other idea for an index card is using washi tape to decorate it. And I love using washi tape in different ways. So it's awfully fun. You can leave it on the edges, or you could, do the whole thing. It's totally up to you. Okay, so another thing you could do with index cards is obviously use some washi tape and just decorate it. So it's a journaling card. And this is super simple, so I wanted to share it real fast. Now I have this washi tape, again, from Daphne's Diary. And you could put that on the end, and that could be a whole journaling card look all by itself. Here, I'll show you. And the great thing with the washi tape is, if you get it on crooked, you can peel it off, which I do quite a bit. Okay, there. And then you could, flip that over, cut that off. I'm going to cut it off. It's very pretty washi tape. That one I'm going to flip under. Okay, and then you could add, something beside it, or on the other side, or across the bottom, or just leave it like that. That is really pretty. I love that. Another one, just to show you. And a lot of times when you buy washi tape, they come in like little sets. Like I got this one, and it's obviously honeycomb, some words, and some bees. So you would do it kind of like, have the honeycomb first, or I would. You obviously would do whatever you wanted first. I'm going to do the honeycomb across the side. And then I'm going to do the bees. And that's a look. And because they all came together, it looks good. You could have even painted your card gold. That would, here, let's add some gold paint. Okay, don't be afraid to paint your journaling cards. They dry, you can still write on them, and it looks really good. So don't forget to use this. You don't have to have, a lot of fancy papers or fabric. If you don't, you don't. If you have washi tape, use that. If you have paint, use that. Use magazines. The magazines are the best. Well guys, I hope you enjoyed this video about all the cool, easy ways you can decorate index cards and use them in your journals. We have done just journaling cards. We have done page pockets, not just pockets, but page pockets. And we did like an old Polaroid or, slide. So we also gave you ideas for decorating from the, the papers, layered papers. But we also gave you some ideas to use magazines, to use fabrics, or if you don't have any of that, it's great just to use paints and washi tape. So I hope you got something out of today's video. Be sure and leave me a comment below if you love using index cards in your journals, in your mixed media, or whatever you do. Because index cards can be useful from one end of the home to the next. I have some great videos coming up, guys. I'm super excited about. Can't wait to see you next time. Be sure and hit that subscribe button and click that little bell for notifications because I'm going to be redoing some rooms in my home that you are not going to want to miss. Plus, I have some affordable, easy boho home decor ideas that it's going to, light up the world. See you soon. Bye.